The monthly video on my machine learning comic pricing software that I've been developing as a fun new hobby. Actually, a lot of progress in the last month. Been kind of excited by it. I still comparing this month against Cover Price. I was hoping to add another site to compare against, but this month instead I decided to auto-generate a web page for all my auction bids so that I can more automatically compare my results against Cover Price and hopefully in the future other websites as well. So here it is. I have a list of all the comics I bid on. Last time it was 88 last month. This month it's a lot more than that. I can sort by the average price of the comic. I can sort by the title. I can sort by the year. It's kind of fun. Anyway, we'll just go through like we did last time, a little example of the kinds of books that I've been bidding on, what kind of feel for what books my algorithm does better, what books Cover Price does better, and then overall the results. You can see I bid on, let's sort by price for now. Okay, I did expensive bid on a book, though I knew I wasn't going to win it. In fact, I might have only just watched it on this Spider-Man #1. I have never bought a book close to this expensive, but it's fun, and I wanted to get data on some of the more expensive books, and also it was in a restored slab. So restored slab seemed like a good challenge for the algorithm. My program came up with a 5,466. It went for 5,401. Cover Price was at 7,300. Actually, Cover Price not that bad. These books are kind of hard to guess the price of. I think my algorithm frankly just got a little lucky. Though it could be that I just did a better job analyzing the effect of the restoration. Another Spider-Man. I don't know why they guess so small. It could be that they're not accounting for the signature. It had a Stan Lee signature, which of course is a big deal. Avengers 39. Amazing Spider-Man 194, First Appearance of Black Cat, always a fun book. Cover Price beat me on that one. Price was 307. Cover Price estimated 325. I estimated 336. Some old Strange Tales. Here's a Strange Tales 7. Pretty old 1952 book. One on that one also. I don't have tons of data on some of the older books. And so my machine learning algorithm's ability to generalize across different books of that era is not as strong. Cover Price estimated 276. Price was 226. I estimated 132. We got a first Spider-Woman. I did pretty well on that one. 224 versus 215. What else we got? Some more Strange Tale 24. I actually did pretty good on that one. 153. Price was 179. Cover Price estimated 420. Wow. I don't know why they did so poorly on that one. Though, one of the issues with these older books, the Cover Price has a difficulty with, I said I don't because I don't have a lot of data on. Well, they also don't have tons of data on some of these older books if they're not a key or something. They're just not trading hands that much. So, since they go off of not just the exact book, but also the exact grade and slab categorization and stuff, since they don't generalize on any of that stuff, they just go on the very specific. There's even less data available on just that specific. So they also have their challenges. Spider-Man 12, She-Hulk #1, Savage She-Hulk. I went at 123. It's a little bit better than 121, but honestly about the same. Price was 155. All right, let's look at some of the cheaper books here. I bid on a big bulk purchase of Alpha Flights that all ended up, I lost the bid. It all ended up going for 50 cents a piece, so I just entered it at 50 cents a piece instead of trying to make a refined judgment on which book people were bidding on. There were no major keys or anything in the bid, so that's what I put it in. All the cheap books are a real challenge for my algorithm and the other algorithms that get a lot of their data from online sources, because the shipping price is such a large percentage of what the overall price to the purchaser is, that you're only getting purchasers that are not that price sensitive for individual books, which they're mostly going off of. I estimated this book would be at $278. It was 50 cents. That ain't good. Cover Price is $3, so I guess it's better than Cover Price. For annual 2, I guess 161. Again, 50 cents. Cover Price, I guess $4. 57, which was a minor key. 50 cents. I guess 165. Cover Price, I guess $10. So again, I feel like my algorithm is still bad at this. I guess this 52, I guess 67 cents. That's getting in the right price range. 163, 48. Oh, nice. Very close on this one for Alpha Flight 69. So I'm getting there. Wow, I guess 27 cents on this 68. You know, not hitting the number, but I'm just happy to have a low price. Cover price guessed $66. So real challenging for cover price to get these lower areas. Let's take a look at some of the ones which just have pretty covers. That can be a challenge sometimes if people are buying them just for the color cover instead of whether it's an important key. This one is an important-ish key. First appearance of Moon Girl. It was a 9.6 slab. My cover price said 65. The machine learning said 45. Price was 38, so a little better on that. It's really nice Fantastic Four 247 Doom cover. Cover price beat me on that at $40. It went for 41. I guessed 32.94 on the machine learning algorithm. All right, just a not key, not anything newish book here. Rogue and Gambit 5C, just a beautiful cover of Rogue in the 9.8 slab. Price went for $30. I estimated 36.8. And cover price 46. So not bad. I don't have a lot of faith yet, though, that my algorithm will be successfully able to do a good job on newish books where I don't have much data, and the main selling point is the cover appearance, which is an attractive cover appearance. But in this case, it turned out well. Cover I really like. I don't know what you guys think. Is this JLA Avengers with Superman holding his hammer and Captain America's shield? Very fun cover from my perspective. 9.8 slab went for 74. My algorithm estimated 83.91. Cover price almost exactly the same at 84. Oh, here's a nice Venom cover. Venom 4, 7B. Really fun artwork. 9.8 slab went for $40. I estimated $28. Cover price estimated $47. A little bit better. We're going to feel for what kind of books I'm doing better at. I seem to be a lot better at the really cheap bulk purchase. And a little back and forth on the other books, but overall it looks like I'm doing better. I'll scroll to the bottom where I should have summary stats. And if there's any particular, let me see if I can, here's another interesting thing I did this. I started bidding on some CBCS books. So as some of you might know, the slabbing company that made CBCS slabs went out of business when they got purchased by another company getting into the slabbing business. So there's been some speculation on whether CBCS slabs would start going down in value. I've heard the guess that maybe it will go up in value, but mostly people think it'll go down. And I thought it would be fun challenge for the algorithm to start bidding on some of these and getting some data on some of these. There aren't really many pricing companies that try to do CBCS slabs. If they do slabs, it's mostly CGC. So another distinguishing factor I'm trying to get into is judging those kinds of books. Anyway, I almost perfectly nailed this one at $31.69. Went for 31. Cover price went for estimated 46. Is it fair to Cover Price, who only advertises that they do CGC? Maybe a little unfair. Let me know in the comments how you think I should deal with these, because in my opinion, you got to use these services to judge all the books. CBCS slabs, damaged slabs, signature books, restored books. Anything you might bid on, you want to have a price estimate. So just saying you're not going to do a bunch of them seems a little bit of a cop-out. People still need the price estimates. So I don't know what to do in a comparison. What I essentially ended up doing is the same thing as I did last time, is if they don't put an estimate at all in the collection service that I use, then I have an option to not count that against them and just discard in the comparison. Otherwise, I do the comparison. But if you think I should do something else, like discard all CBCS, discard all signature, discard all restored, whatever it is that they're not at their best at, I'm happy to do that too. Really, I want to make it more challenging for my algorithm to do well against these the big boy algorithm. All right, another restored book here, X-Men 132, a 9.0 CGC. Cover price said 48. I don't think it took into account the restored element. Price was 34. I estimated 18.27. So, but cover price actually did a better job than me on that. All right, let's get to the numbers. This time I looked at 330 books. I was so excited after last month, that I just started bidding on a whole bunch more. Sold a bunch more, won a bunch more, been having fun. Last time I had 88 books, 85 of which had cover price estimates. This time I have 330 books listed, and 297 of them had estimates. So they were missing a whopping 33 this time. And so the easy is the books that cover price makes an estimate of. Overall, I changed it a little bit how I calculated this time. I did a ratio of the amount I was off to the total value of the books. Looking at what I did last time, I had about a 30% ratio, so lower is better, and cover price had about 57%. So not great numbers for cover price. This time though, I had 18.48. So my algorithm really has been improving. I've made algorithmic adjustments, which I think accounts for the majority of it. Obviously, I've collected more data too, but the data I've been collecting is on, I'm going out of my way to get challenging things like the CBCS slabs and the signature slabs and stuff. So the kinds of books I feel like I'm judging this month are way harder. So the fact that I'm able to dramatically improve is just very impressive to me. I don't know if it's impressive to anyone else. I don't even know if anyone else watches these. So this month, cover price went from 57 to 67. So yeah, a little harder. But just not at all in the ballpark of the 18.48. For the easy books, they do a little better, 65% versus 55% last time. And the books are easier for me to do, though, at 17.87. So whatever characteristic is making it so they don't give a price estimate is legitimately making it harder for my algorithm. Probably just a book that just doesn't trade very often, either because it's very new or because it's very old and unusual book, or a not highly desired book. Like an old book that's not a key, for example, gets a lot less trading. All right, that's it for the numbers. Now for the fun part, let me show you the books I got this month. All right, let's take a look at some of the comics I got this month. We got The Strange Academy. Fun book. It was $1. I pick up all the Strange Academies I can get for $1. I really like them. Another one. And I picked this up for a friend. Very cool cover. She's a big She-Hulk fan. Seeing him take on the Red Hulk. And then I picked up some books, some brand new books. For cover price, I usually don't do that. They almost always become worth less than cover price almost immediately. But I just really like the crossovers with the Spider-Man and Superman, so I picked up a bunch of alternative covers for my personal collection. These are going to be keepers. Very fun. Fun books. Really enjoy it. So really enjoy those, even if my algorithm says they're not a good deal. It doesn't matter as much if books aren't keepers. A couple other books I picked up at auction from, I think, my comic shop. This Shuri 9.6 was very cheap. And the Avenger 18 4.5. Just like to pick up the early Avengers when I can for a decent price. Early Avenger 27. And that's it for the cover price books. I didn't get that much at auction that time. I like my comic shop books. I like my comic shop auctions because the shipping is predictable. The rest of the books are slabs I got from Comic Link, which is the opposite of that. Oh my God, shipping is so crazy. And also, they don't show you a picture of the book you're actually going to get. They show you a representative. Here, let me take the covers off so you can see a little better. A representative example. So, but on the other hand, the prices you get can be pretty good there. And if you can get in the 15 to 20 book range, pricing is not, for shipping is not bad. $55 for that many books. It's just not that much cheaper if you only get a couple books. So this early X-Men 9.8. This X-Men 10 is kind of a cool cover. Spider-Man, Wolverine battling. And this Red Sonja #1, very happy about this. This is going up on the wall in the basement. It's a signature book. It's not the first appearance of Red Sonja, but fun cover. I like getting the first of series for a character. Sometimes more than I like getting the first
appearance. Just because they always have a good cover. Book's a lot cheaper usually. X-Men Unlimited #1. Oh, here's a fun one. Look at this Planet She-Hulk. Shiny goodness. That might be another one my friend might like. Look at that giant sword. Very fun. Pretty cheap book too. All right. And we got this earlier, not early. 134 Strange Tale with the Watcher. Fun cover. Those Strange Tales are very hard to price, man. I collect Strange Tales. It's the only collection that have really early books. I also go for Avengers, but they don't get that early. Not Golden Age stuff. Here's a signature book I got. Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Rescuing woman's legs. Silly book. I pick up the cheap signatures when I can, in part because I just want to help my algorithm get more data on the pricing of those things. And I just like signature books. I have a whole here in my wall are just signature books. Not like super expensive, crazy Stan Lee, Fantastic Four #1 kind of stuff, but just kind of middle range signature books. This Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur facsimile cover of a famous Fantastic Four. It's crazy. I don't know if you can see how crazy it is. Particular cover. I think I also got one, we'll see if maybe it's coming up, of the non-ventricular cover, or whatever it's called. Normal version of that cover. Another Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I picked up a number of these. I don't know if the price was that good. I like this series. Not keys or anything. Just a bunch of 9 I like the cover, I like the series, I like the characters. They have a really uninteresting for adults, I'd say, series on Disney Plus for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. But I'm hoping that she makes it more into the mainstream, because I enjoy the character and the dinosaur. I'll probably auction some of these off just to get a little more data on these, and keep a couple. Avenger 40, another early Avengers. 8.0, that's not a bad grade for a collector like me that doesn't go for the super expensive things. Kind of interesting alternative cover on the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, #19. Oh, here we go. Now here's the non-fancy version of that same Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur replication of the famous Fantastic Four cover. And I picked up some cheap Captain Marvel books. Alternative covers, kind of oddities a little bit. See what they go for. I think that's Lockjaw. I know some of these characters, not so much from the book. I've seen it in some early, I think, Inhumans. But I know it from the Marvel Snap video game. It's always fun to see the crossover between the video game, the crossover impact on a popular video game character coming back in the comic books. Captain Marvel #0. A couple of these. Covers are not that great from my perspective. Probably why they go so cheap. The effect the cover has on the value of the books is always interesting. I always think it should be less, but if it's slabbed and you're not reading the book anyway, it's kind of a display item. So that makes more sense to me. And then a random Man Thing. I just did a lowball bid on this 9.6 Man Thing. Kind of fun. I haven't read much Man Thing, a little bit. Anyway, that's all the Comic Leak. So I guess that's it for this month, and I'll make another one next month. Hopefully I can keep up the buying and the selling at a similar rate. Always try to make sure I buy and sell about the same amount so my book collection doesn't go crazy and my wife stays happy. Anyway, leave me some comments on how I should be doing the comparison differently, if you could, because I seem to be doing too well compared to cover price. I need a greater challenge. So let me know what that would be, or if comparing against cover price under different conditions would be interesting. Anyway, I guess I'll talk to you again next month. Bye.